The Rashford issue is that there's no better winger in that squad than him.
On a general note, but not on a recent form basis too.
Yes, I know, but even at a bad form,
it's still better than all United that
we have.
Well,
Big soon.
that now once we start getting in bad with me, that's the only player goes. Okay, Jack Grealish and Martinelli.
Those two are not even some. I don't like them. Like they don't give me that. I'll stick with the Grealish.
Hello, wonderful guys. Welcome to a brand new episode of the podcast Football or Nothing. It has been a very eventful footballing week, and as you can see, we are rocking our native attire today, so which means we are ready to give you the class post today as usual. And we've got a couple of things to talk today. We'll be talking about the midweek actions in the UEFA Champions League, and we are going to be discussing things that will happen during this weekend of football. And I will not be doing all of this alone. My name is Kenny, your humble host on this show, and I'm live in the studio with a new face today. Is Oladimeji. Welcome on board. And of course, your calm, cool, and collected H2O is also in the building as well. Guys, I think we need to start with the UCL review. City, a very big team. You are head to a 0-0 draw by Inter Milan, the Serie A champions. One of the key talking points of the game was Erling Haaland. Carved off chances. Now, Oladimeji, for a guy who a lot of people regard as one of the best in the world, even some people share the sentiment that he is the best player in the world. Is it right to say that he's not rising, he's not stepping up to the big occasions, like the Messi and the Ronaldos that are always stepping up to the big occasion?
I feel the major issue basically is Haaland is probably nation of the team itself, and nowadays it seems Premier League, as people say, is already a farmers league. So when City are under like crazy pressure, it's always hard for him to perform. Major finals that City have played, I don't think he has turned up.
So you don't feel he's fit enough to
it's called enough because I feel he's fit enough because he has the caliber. Like he has every skill set. We all know he's a crazy machine. But I just feel the problem is the entire City team at itself. If they are under like certain pressure that they need to be under like very, 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 very tactical team, defensive tactical team, they always have issues breaking down those kind of teams when it's there. But then again, we are in the early hours of UEFA Champions League, so
you should not get carried away.
Sure, I won't be surprised if the next game becomes that hat-trick. That's what
H2O, do you think Erling Haaland is one of those strikers in world football right now that is so very easy to mark out of the game? You can just take him out of the game once you do your assignment right.
So one of the things I think about Haaland is, first of all, is the instructions that was given to him. With the type of striker Haaland is, you would notice that a Pep Guardiola have given him a certain instruction. What you are supposed to do, you are not necessarily needed for the build-up, as we see Sergio Aguero do, Gabriel Jesus whenever he was at City, at the same time with Stergen whenever he plays the striking position. But that's Haaland case is a different case. He needs that service to come in.
Exactly.
One very important thing again about Haaland is I won't really say it's easy to mark Haaland, but it takes elite defenders to take out Haaland from the game. If you notice games where Haaland have not been performing, Real Madrid, against Real Madrid, against Rudiger, and against Arsenal, whenever he plays the likes of Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes, Inter Milan is a very, very good team with very defensive structure. So if you have that type of striker that does not really get involved with the game, you know what is left is the other team that will determine whether he's going to get in the game or not, because they have to give him the ball. But at the same time, you will notice most of Haaland's stats is always 4 touches sometimes in the first half. Even in a whole match, Haaland can have 10 touches.
He scored hat-trick. I think he had just 9 touches.
The weekend he scored 2 goals in the first half. He only had like 4 touches in the first half.
Game. But you see the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, the likes of Lionel Messi, all respect to them, they are out of this world. But you see them when the game is very tough.
Yeah, and they can impose themselves on.
But you can't compare Ronaldo and Messi.
And that's why I said, they are more involved.
They are very, very more.
There's this argument where this United legend said whenever he sees Haaland, sometimes he like the champion.
Yes,
because of that kind of attribute he possesses as a striker. His own type of striker is just put the ball at the back of the net. It's not like he can't do other things. But
wait, how many games have you like really watched Ronaldo and Messi? It's stagnant.
Exactly.
They are always looking for moment.
Always moving around. They don't really
around at every shot of the camera where the ball is. There's apart from like the defensive side, they are always involved in the game.
But I think as a player, sometimes you just need to go off what the manager has instructed you to do. Probably.
Do you do Pep?
Remember Zlatan. Remember Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He had that same issue with Pep.
Yeah,
Pep is man of the team. You can't do what the manager is not asking you to do. But at the same time, Alan's skill set.
But I don't think for Pep.
But at the same time, Alan's skill set is not that
they get.
Involving.
It's not
with his team.
No, it's striker that gets.
It's that kind of box striker. Just get me the ball. I'll do the rest.
I feel if we even check the entire ball touch stats throughout last season, I don't think it's going to be up to like 200.
So let me ask you, don't you think that would be a big insult to the entire football world if Haaland is named the World Footballer of the Year?
No, Haaland cannot.
He's not ripe enough. According to Oladimeji, he said that
Haaland one thing I'll say is the currency of football is goals.
I don't feel so. Why you feel so is because Ronaldo and Messi has they've been
it's not
entire atmosphere.
One reason why I'm saying one reason I'm saying that is regardless of whatever you do on the pitch, if you're not scoring goals, doesn't mean
yes. Because that goals count.
Goals count. At the end of the day,
no matter how you are playing your wonderful football, you have to score.
I think it's
to win the game.
I think what you said now, I think it's caused by the likes of Ronaldo and Messi. They brought us into this era. Because back in those days, you see players like Zidane,
Van Nistelrooy,
with their technical ability, their skill set.
And
Ronaldo and Messi came and they took it over to another
reset.
But if we're talking about a striker at one end of the pitch, we need to talk about a goalie at the other end of the pitch. Stergen, an abysmal performance against Monaco. Is it that guy is overstaying his welcome at Barca in the middle of the post?
I feel he's having a PTSD from Bayern. UEFA Champions League has never been in his suit.
Yeah.
Bayern has spoiled his mental health.
So he hasn't recovered from that H2 demolition.
I don't think so.
Notice the past years of Barcelona, with all their bad form and everything, he has been present over it.
Exactly.
He has experienced everything. So, like I said,
maybe the pressure of the early red card. Maybe there are a lot of factors which we can consider in that game.
Now, as an experienced goalie, during the build up to that red card, Stergen had an option of passing to either of the CBs.
Yes.
The CBs were not under pressure, but we decided to put the ball into Eric Garcia, and there was a pressure coming behind Eric Garcia. Eric Garcia didn't know what was happening on his blind side, but you as the goalie, you saw everything in front of you, and you decided to pass the ball to Eric Garcia.
That's in the middle of You know, one other thing we should remember is, I think that Stegen is used to the type of midfielder that plays in midfield. Remember the likes of Busquets and De Jong, who is always escaping pressure.
They can find tight spaces.
That's one of the things I feel like caused that kind of situation. But then again, he's an experienced goalie, just like he said. He should know how to pick his own situation. He should know how to pick his own player, especially he should know the quality of the player's pitch. So I feel like he could have done more. So and this is one of the reasons why he is not even considered the number one in the German national.
I think now
that Neuer has retired, he's now the number one. But then again, without the retirement
of kind of happened with the game at Sevilla last season, was it?
The Gea Sevilla.
Yeah. They put to Harry Maguire.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why the Gea was taken out of the United team at the same time. You would notice the first 3 games of United where they were defeated before they brought in Casemiro, where Ten Hag wanted to play this Eriksen going in the middle of the park and receiving the ball. DJ is not very comfortable with the ball, but unlike that's the gene. He's very comfortable with the ball. So, but then again,
So
yesterday was
it was just one of those
days.
Well, it's one of those days for Barca, although there are a lot of negatives, but there is a positive to pick out of the game, and that is Lamine Yamal. The boy keeps on improving each day.
That is a wonder kid.
Is it safe to say that boy is the best player in the world right now?
No. Maybe the best young player currently, maybe, but not.
But can you name a better player than Yamal?
That's why, like, currently, I mentioned something in the last, I think in one of these episodes, I said, aside, if you had to look at the first 4 games or so that we've faced so far, Lamine Yamal has been, if not the best, one of the best. Top 3, not even number 3. Because even on the right-hand side, as a right winger, I don't think there is any player currently that come close to the ball. The boy is 17. You have to understand, like, when you dip that in, you understand, for someone to be 17 and play that type of maturity, quality,
he doesn't play like an academic player.
I feel jealous as a United fan, though I have my player at 17. Oh God!
He doesn't play like an academic player. Sometimes I wonder that this guy has lived before and nothing else.
So if the Ballon d'Or ceremony comes around tomorrow, can you tip him to win the Ballon d'Or?
No.
For now, no.
But based on the performance of those two,
give us the player you have in mind that is better than that should be ahead of him in the Ballon.
Dialogue.
Do the performance.
Dialogue this season. This season.
They've not announced the Ballon d'Or, so I believe it's going to be based on the last calendar year.
Yeah, this calendar year.
Yes. So I believe Vinicius and
I believe if Yamal keeps going this way and Barcelona to achieve something with it.
Yes. They can consider it for next.
We are in for that conversation. We are in for that conversation.
Because guys are banging in goals left and right.
You know, there's a difference between you are just playing and we know that you have that quality. There's a difference between you are showing that on international stage, club level. You know, now he has Euros and we already know he has that base. And now he has kind of proved like he can under pressure. Yeah,
like when the team need.
That's all to step up. Yeah.
So he just has to grow and develop, and I just pray that Barca
his development, because he has to be managed at the same time.
So and the team is doing okay.
And I think he needs to manage his work.
That's very important. Remember the case of Ansu Fati.
Yeah, and even Pedri. And even Pedri, they used Pedri and Gavi. Exactly. So I just feel they need to manage, and I think Ansu play.
Yeah,
coach.
It takes position at right.
The boy is banging in goals left and right now. We are talking about banging in goals. Arsenal went in the goalless draw. I think we were here on the podcast. The last episode we were talking about how they have not won in Italy in their last 3 UCL games. Right now, 4th on the row, they haven't won.
You shouldn't be so. UEFA Champions. You shouldn't be surprised.
I even saw something online. Someone said, if not for peer pressure, what is that?
What are you talking about?
So, do you think that David Raya is currently the best modern day goalie? Because you look at everything you want in a modern day goalkeeper: anticipation, reflexes, playing out of the back, shot stopping. This guy is a full package, and he made a wonderful stop yesterday. He kept a penalty out. And few seconds later, he dived to the opposite side.
A double save is very, very impressive. Very, very impressive. And I think one of the major differences in Arsenal has been David Raya. Even when they played Aston Villa, remember the Watkins, Haaland and stuff. Raya has been one of their most active, and their defense, I don't know, regardless of how the attack is trying to reduce the tempo, but their defense have always been spot on.
I think we need to credit that Mikel Arteta.
Of course,
done very well. Has been.
There's that's first reason
why Brentford let him go.
You mean David Raya?
Yes. I think at a point
when is the bigger call?
He's a bit for a bigger calling. Yeah.
He practically went for a cheap piece.
That's one thing we also have.
In this present day market, I was expecting how they should cost Arsenal.
Yeah, a lot of. We should credit Edu for that.
That's a smart businessman.
Because remember, he did not buy him on spot.
Yeah, a load.
Obligation to buy.
But the complaints from Arsenal fans were we lack creativity, and that is down to the injury to Martin.
Odegard.
And how do you think that they can go around this run of fixtures without Martin Odegard? Is it that they'll keep playing those satanic and around football, low block, score 1-0 and go back to your low block, mid block? How do they go about it? How do they cope with that Martin Odegaard? We know he's the spine of this team. And to some of you that do underrate Martin Odegaard, because some people have the opinion that, it's slowing Arsenal team, that is pulling them backward. I think right now,
it's obvious.
It's flowers. How do you think they will go about this without Martin Odegaard?
I just feel I will find a way, but I feel the midfield seems to have Partey, Rice, Ahmad.
Yeah.
And I don't think out of those three selections there are any creative side among. That it seems the game even affects Saka, because I feel him and Odegaard, they have a
chemistry. Yeah.
Saka is not even performing the way we expect him to perform normally without like Odegaard and that.
Saka is not really a solo player.
So I think he has to go back early on where he used the Wingard as his creator. He has to make either Trossard. Or
Trossard.
Then concentrate on returning the ball at the midfielder's option. It has still Odegaard or their new midfielder come back.
The Gabriel Jesus coming into the starting lineup, his ability to drop and lick up. Do you think that will help their creativity?
Consider the fact that I think Havertz has been the one playing that central position, and one of the things you don't want to see is Havertz playing as a major focal point, as a 10. That's one of the things you don't want to see, because you are putting Havertz, Declan Rice, and Partey. At the same time, there is nothing. And at the same time, you should understand that in as much as Saka can be effective, he's not a lone player. He plays with the team. When the team is better, Saka is better. And one of the most important things Jesus can offer them, of course, is the fact that when he drops, Havertz can also move forward. But at the same time, I think the other side of the pitch, which is the left-hand side, Martinelli has been abysmal. So I think Trossard, because one thing about Trossard is very, very spot on with how to pick passes at the right time. And in terms of creativity, Trossard is always
I'm being so clinical.
I'm being so clinical for the goal. So the other thing that could have helped Arsenal, but then again, I don't know how Arteta plans, is there is this academy issue. I don't know. Is it that Arsenal don't have? I think I keep hearing in one area, because when they played United during the preseason, I remember there were some faces I saw. And so I don't know why you don't. That's very good, guys.
I think that's a little bit worrying, but I think if you look at back in those days, Arsenal were always grooming the academy talent. Points, those guys see Arsenal as a stepping stone to it. I think they are trying to correct that notion in the market that Arsenal is not a stepping stone anymore. It's the team that you are. We are not ready. We are not ready to groom academy.
They are not a stepping stone. They are a stable team. Let me just put it that way. They are a stable team. So it's easy to not integrate academy player
play within those this stable. The best type. It is the best.
Yeah,
it doesn't really favor academy player, but if you are good, you will get your chance.
Look at Foden. Look at Oscar. This guy is taking out Walker at the same time.
The team doesn't have to be like in chaos. Because this is the best time even.
So we have to fault Mikel Arteta for that, for not integrating those academy boys.
And you cannot even tell me he doesn't have like a creative midfielder. Slotting.
There is a certain return on one area.
So what's the big deal? Use him. It costs you nothing.
And as one thing, if you are good enough, you are old enough. We shouldn't start looking at it.
So why you are good, you are old enough.
So if he doesn't bank on the academy right now, because right now
I will be very, very big soon.
That now once we start getting in that with me,
that's the only place you can get players. Because if you look at Emil Smith Rowe, that would have got in for Odegaard, is out of the team. Patrick Vieira is out of the team.
Yeah.
So you look at the options he has in this current
limited right now,
and you can't. I won't say you can't fault him, but then again, you understand what injury actually plays in a team. So you can see if City has injury, then that is why I think he has been looking to stabilize the team with depth. But then again, even those he was trying to recruit for depth and now getting into Merino has out without even kicked them. They haven't even kicked the ball.
Yeah.
Calafiori, I think that's another case. So it's left to him as the manager, but I feel like Arteta will always find the way out. He find the way out.
It's the big Pep. So we find a way.
There has been some things going on with footballers recently. We have seen the likes of Rodri, Alisson Becker, Jules Koundé, they all came out and said they threatened to go on a strike because the games are too much for them. Now, from a first point of view, would you say the games are much for them considering the money that they have? Or we should just pity them and UEFA should reduce the games for them? Or they should keep playing the games, the much games, they should keep playing it because they earn so much money.
Oh my goodness.
What do you think they should do, David?
No matter the money that they earn, they are still humans at the end of the day. They're still practically humans like all of us. So now imagine, okay, let's take it away. Even the top earners, entrepreneurs, they still take break. They still take break. So why should we now have the same a separate spot?
But they are paying for what they love. So they are enjoying it.
Can you imagine? Okay, let's create a mini scale. They probably play on Saturday. Monday is probably the only rest they have. Yeah. They also come back even after the match. That's why I think it's for game. Where if it's EFL, if it's Champions League, if it's Europa. Every day, Wednesday, another game. Thursday, another game. Friday is the only day they probably rest. They still have those process, and the only summer that they have break. You're fixing competitions into it. No matter any money they are earning, they need to consider the player because they are without them, you can't have the sport. You can't have them. You have to consider them. They are like the tools in all these process. So if they are not this,
do you think they should go on strike? Just like
they
shouldn't go on strike.
Well, I have a different notion actually.
Okay.
So yes, there is complaint that they want to go on strike. The games are too much. Do you understand? I understand as a human. You know, they also it's like they are liberal. But then again, one thing they should understand again is football business is an everyday business. At the same time, it is kind of like an entertainment industry. You are feeding the fans with something. So one thing again is that if you look at the likes of the elite footballers, you will notice they are the one complaining. You understand? So one thing you have to look at is the likes of Van Dijk, the likes of Rodri, and all the elite players we have. If they are saying that at the end of the day, they want to go on strike or maybe the games are too much, they should also remember that in their contract, there are certain clauses. If you are in the Champions League, it means more money. If you are in this position, it means more money. There are always, even if you are doing any of this branding and all these, there are extra clauses in the contract. Image right. It's still money. So you are earning the money. Back in the days, the best player don't earn what they earn now. They don't even, a Lingard earns more than one of our best players back then. But now, even an average player earns more. I understand that the games are too much, but at the same time, they are just money. They are enjoying the money. They are just money. When you now look at an average player plays on Saturday, but because you play in a team that doesn't compete much, after that Saturday, you go for training. Probably the next time you are playing is the following week, and that was what helped Chelsea last season. Chelsea were not in any competition. They played this week. You expected, and that is why there were expectations for Chelsea too. As a last season, you are playing this week and you're also playing a team that is knackered. So if you are meeting them for the next round, you should know you should be at your full motion.
So let's just say I'm going to take from your word. Let's just say more games is just the price that you pay for being so good, playing in a better team.
You get to play more games.
You get to
say that also that.
So
more matches.
The likes of Rodri, Alisson Becker, Jules Koundé. You guys are just murmuring according to HO believes that this is why they can.
There's always a way to it. People has not been fed.
Yeah.
People has not been fed. They are creating more competition.
Do you think players now start needs to be represented in the FIFA board meeting?
And you should remember another thing again. There is a squad size that was given to each team.
Yes.
So it is your manager's fault.
See that
you have manage every game.
Yes.
You have Carling Cup, FA Cup,
and every manager is aware before
the season starts.
These are the amount of competitions the club is running.
And that's why you see a team like Chelsea, they have 40-man squad.
Now, what their manager said that he only had
That's just the thing. But then again, you should know every player cannot play every match.
Every player can.
But you know, everybody's hungry for trophy.
Did almost that last season.
Because teams are hungry for trophies. So you want to win everything. You want to have that bragging right. Treble, quadruple, whatever they call it. But then again,
so you spoke about Chelsea having a very big squad size. They have the weekend fixtures this weekend against West Ham, one of the big spenders in the summer. I'll start with that Chelsea. There's a certain Nicolas Jackson who is spearheading the attack right now. Do you think for a team like Chelsea who has the ambition to go forward, to progress as a team, do you think Nicolas Jackson is the right man to lead the attack? We have to remember that he has one of the best link-up play.
Yeah.
Team, as his work rate is very, very high. But do you think he's the right guy to lead the attack?
So, for me, Nicolas Jackson, in as much as I enjoy his skill set with his ability to play with the team, there's one thing I do say. For me to know how serious a team can be, I'll look at your striker. And that is one of the things you will notice over the course of the years. Exclusion to Madrid, of course, because they were like special cases. But when you look at Arsenal, look at Man City that has been winning the league for the past year. It depends on what your striker's output is. In as much as some teams like the club era had to use his wingers rather than using the striker. But then again, you see the contribution of the striker. But then again, a Chelsea team that is not yet stable. When you look at last season, one of the players that was detrimental to the progress of the team, Jackson was one of them. Yes, he had goals. Yes, everybody will say he had goals. And that's one thing I keep telling people. Start sometimes with deceive. He missed a lot of chances. He missed a lot of chances.
He wasn't clinical.
He wasn't clinical enough. And that is one thing you always tell a player, regardless of how you play. As a striker, we really don't care if you can dribble or you can move the ball from A to Z. If you can't do your basic output, if you don't have basic output, there are other players in the team that can do what you are doing. You don't even really need to do it. Yours is just to link up and at the same time finish up. So if Chelsea and if Jackson keeps going with this kind of physical, I think he has started again this season with that kind of form. He ended the last season. So if he keeps going like this, you can't keep without Palmer last season. God knows where Chelsea will be. So if you can't keep depending. Okay, yes, there are other teams, there are other players in the team that have that responsibility to score goals. But then again,
but some Chelsea fans will say that he is good at link-up plays, so he's good at work rate and all of that. He needs to be in the team.
But I feel every other option in Chelsea squad for their attacking phase.
Exactly. Do you think they can do that? Do they bring the same work rate that Jackson brings to the team?
Work rate.
He's so hardworking.
I've never seen Jackson press.
He's so hardworking.
He's so hardworking.
Is he the one defending? Is he the one attacking and the one doing everything at the same time?
You guys don't believe that he's hardworking.
No, hardworking. That's one thing that's deceiving Chelsea.
Do you think a certain Joao Felix will put in the same work rate that Jackson will put in?
Yeah, might not. Wait, that's even you are comparing two worse end. You can't use that as the alternative for Jackson.
But one thing about Felix is in terms of output, regardless of how Jackson plays, Felix has a better output than Jackson.
You know that if Felix in certain position, you know that at least you expect
what you expect, and that was what happened when they brought in Nkunku the last match.
Yes.
Simple thing Jackson was supposed to do, just put the ball at the back of the net. It's not so hard.
But these guys are not natural number 9s. Bar Jackson, there is no natural number 9 man. It's just a team.
He's a striker.
Are you even sure Jackson is Are you sure?
I'm starting to think he's a winger. Probably they should put him on wing.
There are some certain things he does. Like was it a game against Palace? The kind of back passes he was doing, you would think otherwise.
But I think Chelsea fans are okay with where they are.
So if you are Enzo Maresca, who are you starting to lead your attack?
I think the combo that played, they ended the game against
Bournemouth. Yeah.
I think that they have Sancho now.
They have Sancho.
So Nkunku can play up top.
Of course.
They wanted to use Nkunku as like
yeah.
Now they have Sancho. So let Sancho take over like the left wing. Let Nkunku play at the middle and switch between the left
Wipe
and they can like the ball leave to who they need.
So Jackson should be thrown on the bench.
He shouldn't be thrown on the bench. I just feel like
He should be taught
he has to score game.
He should be taught that he should see
He can do this. Yeah, you don't get me right. He can come in, affect, right? Jackson's not really that bad way, but
no. That's why I said I respect his link up play. But then again,
the business end.
of course,
Get us goals. Yeah. What needs result? You need to put points. So you need people that will give you that. Okay, I trust this person. Jackson will also have his role, but I don't feel it. So that's
We're
just
going to talk about their opponent. They assembled one of the best teams this summer. They have a lot of potential in the squad. There were a lot of they sent Somerville as well.
yeah.
The guy who was the championship best player last season. They assembled a very wonderful squad. Do you think Lopetegui is limiting the squad potential? Is it the right manager to take them forward? Because that squad talented.
I don't understand what Lopetegui is trying to preach. But I think as at the first match of the season or so, he started kind of like a repeat of last season's one. So I'm like, you are starting the season. Okay, maybe you are trying to do some stability or stuff. But then again, most of your best players are on the bench. So you can't play a team where you are trying to impute a certain new culture into the West Ham environment. Because if you remember, it's not like I said Moyes was that bad.
It wasn't bad.
But West Ham were looking for something more than that. So now
I disagree with that. Moyes was bad.
you know that
Moyes was bad.
Moyes, he won them the conference, the Europa conference. As I said, it's not that bad.
And at the point, they were getting into Europe. They were getting into Europe.
Comfortably.
You call that Europe?
For the caliber of West Ham,
Chelsea fans.
for a team like West Ham, the kind of height they are supposed to reach, at least for David Moyes, it was at least that okay for them.
Do you think it was down to Moyes that oversport them? Because West Ham are a mid-table team, and they started getting them into Euro.
I think the problem of Moyes was basically like he sold some certain players. So I felt West Ham needed.
Yeah. Praise the squad.
Didn't happen, and he did complain.
And that's one thing about Moyes. Moyes will play with whatever he has.
And he played whatever he had. But even as at that, there's some certain that it's on that thing. You know what you expect.
Of course.
You know Tom Frank.
You know what to expect.
Frank. You know what.
Yeah, so
So I just feel that Moyes, you don't really know what to expect from his team like that. If you know that you want to play, I want to play the 6 at the back, lock shop, puts.
Antonio had a phone.
Sometimes they in the games you see them, they are trying to defend, see them they're trying to attack, see them they're trying.
there's no balance.
So there's no like, okay, this is what
That has been right from time.
and that can be so confusing.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they stepped up with them. They saw that Lopetegui might be able to hit that dimension.
But you got to really judge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel let's give it to like 3 months. Like by December.
Lopetegui has always been a failure wherever he goes.
Real Madrid.
He failed at Real Madrid. He failed at Barcelona Wanderers. I don't know what West Ham were thinking when they made that appointment. I didn't know what was going through their head when they made that appointment. I think it was an abysmal
But which option? Is there any better coach?
Yeah, they
wanted to go for Ruben Amorim, the sporting manager.
But
it was not.
I don't really support him to come to West Ham. That might be the case. I remember he stepped in that guy. Not the West Ham. The West Ham team is not. Yeah, the West Ham plays in the Premier League, but then again, compared to Sporting,
He's going to be champion.
Champions League.
Why would he come West Ham to come and be competing with? And again, they might not promise him. He may be in the contract. Okay, I need this. They didn't get. So there are a lot of factors they wouldn't sign.
But then again, he has to know that he's signing. Yes.
Well, now I believe the players.
I know. Yeah, exactly. A team with Mohamed Kudu, Paqueta,
Lucas Pathway.
No.
I believe that.
Come on, Zobo.
You have like them good spine.
It's fine. Yeah,
You can
he needs to do more.
So, and I even feel that against Chelsea. Go on.
It's my
Results my start.
Score predictions. Oh, go ahead.
I feel they 1-1. 1-1. I feel they will draw because Chelsea are still trying to like balance themselves, same as West Ham. So I think it will
score prediction for you.
Well, for me, I think West Ham should be able to punish because I feel like most of the outlet
with the ending of that Bournemouth game.
With any of that Bournemouth game,
yes.
Something about Chelsea, you guys don't like. When I watch Chelsea game, I see more than the 2 minutes.
Yes, guys, but that they were distant for the last 10 minutes.
That's what you said last time. What will happen for the first 90 minutes?
That's very.
With West Ham be looking at it, you remember if Sancho is playing. One thing I want to tell Sancho is just be careful because they are playing against Wan-Bissaka.
We all know.
So you should know how to go with that. So and then again, they have players that can punish Chelsea, and the Chelsea defense line is very weak.
Very.
From their mid is very porous. It's easy to pass Chelsea.
They were conceding chances.
When you remember the qualities West Ham also possesses if they are on their own day.
So you are predicting a West Ham win.
Chelsea can be funny at times, but then again, I'll go for a probably 2-0 or 2-1.
Well, if they have Enzo and Levy back, I believe they can. So if they can consider
if
the midfield about to,
if West Ham wins the game, as you said, if you're watching and you're enjoying the podcast right now, make sure you tap the subscribe button to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Turn on the bell notification icon so that you'll be notified when we drop something on the podcast page. Let's go to Liverpool. Arne Slot men did wonders. Arne Slot, la 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 la. They did wonders in the midweek against AC Milan. They are hosting Bournemouth this weekend. After the performance of Cody Gakpo this midweek, there have been a certain debate among Liverpool fan base who should start among Cody Gakpo and Luis Diaz. Cody Gakpo put in a wonderful performance, just like the Cody we saw at the Euros. So who should be starting on that right-hand channel for Liverpool?
That's kind of like a difficult question. In terms of attacking the player, in terms of agility and that physical strength, I think Luis Diaz leaves a lot of gap for Gakpo. But then again, it's the gap between Luis Diaz and Gakpo isn't that wide. What Diaz can do, Gakpo can also do. And at the same time, Gakpo has this finishing output. But in terms of, when I look at what Liverpool is trying to do, I think a Cody Gakpo in form would actually displace Diaz from the team. In form Cody Gakpo. But then again, it's very, very difficult for me to actually say that because Diaz is a very, very dangerous player. And that is one thing about Liverpool team I don't like currently. They have a set of dangerous players. You still have Kesa. You still have Kesa. But at the same time, for now, with at least the first 3 performances I've seen, I think Diaz should still be ahead. And it's got to find a way to, integrate both of them into the squad. Because then again, Diaz can't play the whole game. And at the same time, it's not every match is Diaz will always in that form. But then again, when you look at Cody Gakpo in terms of goal scoring, it's very, very good. So I still feel like
I think Diaz should still maintain his position, like his slot. It's still, at least Diaz, there's no reason to be able to put him on the bench yet. There's no really major reason. And he's practically nice. I'm sure he's set up bench. But there's no, Diaz should start.
So that's a beautiful problem for Arne Slot.
Yeah, that's it. You want that kind of headache for manager?
Yeah. Let's go to Ange Postecoglou. Right now, I'm sure he's having serious headaches in his, because there's even a picture of him this season. I think that was against Leicester where he was bowing his head. I think what he expects from Spurs, what he expects from Spurs, he has not seen it. According to Postecoglou, he said he wins trophies, he's a winner. In his second season, we'll be there. We will be there. Do you think they have a potential in the squad to win at least a title this season?
They almost got out of their last game. They almost beat them.
Yeah. It was a Brian Johnson and for them.
I remember early last season when he came, that he was playing expansive, he was playing his eye line and everybody was yelling. I said, this is Premier League. They'll find a solution. And they did. Now he's finding it so hard. also find the solution
to the problem.
So I just feel like he needs to have faith in some certain players. He does a chop and change kind of system. Then you can't be playing that high line is so wild. You can't be playing that in Premier League with experienced wingers.
Yeah.
With so good strikers. You can't. I don't feel. Yes, it is the system. You can't rely on that throughout the game.
There has to be that flexibility.
Right. I want to try another.
And that's one thing people have not seen. By the time, if everything is stable, at least the top 6 team, in as much as there is that goal out of because it's high risk type of football. But then again, when you meet a very, very bad Chelsea team, defeated him 4-0 last 0. Yeah. 4-0 last. In their backyard, by the way,
You just need to face a team that knows how to counter very well. They know how to hold deep and
and if you're talking about teams that know how to counter very well, they have a big headache. Brentford is the fixtures for them this week. I'll tell you guys a stat. There is a stat after the North London Derby. Spurs have conceded 18 goals from set pieces.
I was even surprised when they said they considered goals more than I think Manchester United. There was this stat like that they concede more goals. They have said more goals or something like that.
So many set piece goals, and one of the best set piece teams in England is Brentford. Wow! So that's a big headache for Postecoglou.
He has work to do.
He has work to do. And Brentford are that type of team that have that. We can go long. We can play. They have that tactical setup where we don't really have to play
the midfield. Leave what?
Do you think the injury to Johan Wissa right now would be so disastrous for Brentford? There's no Anthony anymore. It's not back yet.
Not back.
That'll be a bit. But I think they will find a solution. They always find a solution against.
The only established attacker right now in the team is Mbeumo.
And I think that's one thing Thomas Frank has to work. Because when you have Mbeumo, one thing again is remember Tony was not available for I think majority of last
year. Yeah.
So one thing again you should also have to consider is they have that style where they know Mbeumo is on the pitch. All we need is just find him, and at the same time there's always that link up between them. So I think Thomas Frank should find it way. But then again, I don't really think Brentford can defeat Tottenham because with that output and the output,
Tottenham, I believe Tottenham so I feel a 2-1 to Tottenham.
Well, I'm thinking it's going to be a bad day for me. So I'd go with maybe a 3-0 3-0.
So I believe Brentford will.
Well,
they are not that solid.
They're not solid, but in terms of goal.
Okay, so I'll put
you guys on
the spot right now. You both support Manchester United, the Red Devils, the red side of Brentford. They are going to Selhurst Park to play against Crystal Palace.
God is going to help.
How confident?
We lost our last 3 games against Palace.
That's not
looking very, very important. He needs to get it right this time. If not, it's going to become the Brighton kind
of vibe. Yeah. So one thing again is I think the players are very, very aware that we are not going to a team. We are going to a team that already has that confidence that we've done this before. We can still do it again. So, and you are coming from a match where you actually won 7-0. We don't want to return United fans back to the state where they start thinking, are we really sure these players know what they are doing?
So it's not going to be a 2-step forward,
one step backward type of thing. So, and one thing again is, with the last match, I think Ten Hag should start seeing a structure behind the type of players on the bench.
This is the combination
I need.
If you're speaking about that combination, there is a player that has always been the center of attention at Old Trafford this week, and that is Anthony. Do you think Anthony should start? Because
Anthony starts.
Anthony starts. You have an informal man. One thing Anthony should know is behind the back.
At this point,
way behind. Garnacho is ahead of him in his own position.
Yeah, he actually scored against Barnsley.
That's a penalty. Stop that.
Eric Ten Hag said he needs to step on this.
You say what you say. Press up.
Let me tell you something about Ten Hag you don't know. When Ten Hag start telling you need to step up this and that, man, you are not playing. Remember Ahmad last season was also, although he was injured, but then again when he returned, there's something about Ten Hag. He will use you to the point where it is so glaring to everybody that this guy is nothing. So when he drops, nobody's making any noise. You see the likes of when this Casemiro, when Eriksen has to come in.
Is he over pampering Marcus Rashford? Because when Marcus Rashford is having a downtime, just like the likes of Antonio are having downtime right now, Marcus is still playing, and fans will be like worried that why can't you even throw Marcus Rashford on the bench just like you are treating other players?
You see the Rashford. I feel the Rashford issue is that there's no better winger in that squad than him.
On a general note, but not on a recent form basis, though.
Yes, I know, but even at a bad form,
it's still better than all United that we have.
Well, if this was a case of last season, I would have taken that argument. But currently this season, we are coming off a season where we have been very, very bad. And remember, one of the best seasons we had with Erik Ten Hag, Rashford was very, very better. And that's why he's still keeping his faith in him. Yes. But then again, one of the reasons why we have gotten to a point at the last season where everything was so bad was also because Rashford have decided to, ghost and not make himself available.
Really blame him. If we have it.
It's dysfunctional, right?
Dysfunctional. It's practically like injury, right?
But then again, remember, we have Garnacho. And when you look at the play, Rashford has this, when you pass to Rashford, there's always this, he needs a left back to overrun, just want to play better. Now we have to get Ziggy so that he can play better. Notice now that Ziggy has been playing. Rashford game has actually improved because they have someone's display with Martial. You understand? But then again, I can't keep depending on Ziggy. Remember the Liverpool match? That's what happened. Because we expect you guys to do something. Look at Ahmad. Whenever Ahmad comes in, whether you are playing as the left back, I don't really care. I'll still give my all. And that's one thing I like about Garnacho. Rashford, I can't really remember the last time Rashford is taking a player on, and I'm convinced that this is a player.
So, do you think if Marcus Rashford is thrown on the bench, it's something Garnacho comes in, he can do the...
Well, Garnacho has to also... I've noticed something in the past few matches. Not as much as Garnacho is coming in again, there hasn't really been that much difference for you to be that convinced that, okay, Garnacho has to start. You understand? But then again, if Rashford is not giving that performance, put in a Garnacho. It's not by force Rashford start. It can also come in. It gives the team that kind of motivation that nobody is invincible. You understand?
Like Pep does.
Like Pep does. Grealish, wherever it is. De Bruyne.
So if you are not even
that to play, this player is exactly
clear rotation. You are having a good play.
So what's the best midfield combination for you? Mino, Gatti, Mino, Casemiro, Mino, Eriksen.
But now, it's a Mino, Gatti. But now, based on the team set,
and the balance that they can't keep the balance.
We know that Gatti will probably do the testing. We know play the
box to box down.
That's what is not just working.
And I think that's one thing Ten Hag has been trying to play around in that we can have different midfield combinations. That's why, depending on the situation,
last 2 games.
That's why I bought in Eriksen, and in the last 2 games, you will notice Eriksen have been that. Although we all know Eriksen does not have the leg. If we are playing a high-end football, Eriksen might not be the same. But if you have an Ugarte in the middle, and that is one thing I think I've noticed. I think Erik Ten Hag is trying to push a Casemiro not coming in for Ugarte at the same time, in as much, because at this point we all know you can't put Casemiro in the middle of the pitch. It is very, very wrong.
He doesn't have the legs.
He doesn't have the legs anymore. And he doesn't have that
nightmare.
That aura.
He has now turned to an old man. Okay, so let's go to the other side of Manchester, the blue side of Manchester. They welcome Arsenal for the past 2 seasons now in the English Premier League, these two guys have been on each other's toes. They have been chasing themselves in the title race. But I think there is a mixed feeling for Arsenal fans right now going into these fixtures. There is no Martin Odegarrd. They have not been scoring goals for fun. And you're going to Pep Guardiola's backyard. Do you think Arsenal will survive?
With the performance against Inter, Pep's teams are kind of the team that they give response to, like, if they didn't.
They are setbacks to something like that.
So I feel now with that performance that they played against Inter, they will need to, like, give a certain response towards Arsenal's game.
Definitely.
Which I feel is not a bad thing. Arsenal are probably going to be without a very, very creative midfield. So they will have to make do with what they have. And I feel City will be too much.
Do you think if they do, just like we said earlier on in the podcast, we said Mikel Arteta has structured his team, their own.
Yeah.
They do the assignment very well. Do you think they can kill City on transitions?
One thing I would like to tell Arsenal fans is, you guys should be careful on Sunday. I think it's on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
You guys should be very careful on Sunday. Pep is coming with something.
Because I see he has a point.
Because this has been, like, I think the third meeting where Arsenal has not, where City has not been able to break Arsenal. So I remember with the type of player he has, not like the type of player, he had those type of player before. But now that he has a Savio on the right hand side, and at the same time, I remember a Savio and a Doku at the same time is going to.
But then again, Arsenal has one of the best, if not the best.
That's what I'm saying. They have the best defensive. I think
this game is even more like a bragging right between a master and the apprentice. Because right now, Arteta, if Arteta goes into this game and he comes out with either a draw or a win, it will be like, finally Arteta has
one is the game at
Etihad.
What Arsenal fans should be finished. In as much, I've said it before, their defensive structure is so good.
Very, very.
Then again, but I think they said Declan Rice will not be available on Sunday. So
he has sacked his band.
He's available. He's available. So one thing they have to know is whatever style Arsenal is trying to put out on Sunday, make sure you are not trying to just say the match will end at 0-0. Trust me, that match is not going to end at 0-0. That is very, very certain.
When last the Pep play 0-0 back game?
Because he knows what he's expecting. Pep already knows what is expected from Arsenal now. Now, it's not led to Arteta. Now, of course, they will. I don't think, because especially after these 2 matches they played, the Atalanta, and they've seen that there's that fear that, we don't have Odegaard, we don't have this. So that thing I start stepping in.
I think it's going to be a bit pragmatic.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm about to say.
Because if their best suit now, they're the best strength now is
the best side.
Yeah. Not as much as they want to play a counter game against Pep. So I feel that it will be at least a bit pragmatic towards the game. So that I can get the result.
Pragmatic. Don't you think that would be tiring for Arsenal fans? Because last season,
but they have to choice. Result is the most important thing.
In as much as they don't
have your most creative player.
No, you look at the days of Klopp and
Pep Guardiola. I think
when they were going head to head,
because regardless of,
you will always watch entertaining football. Well, right now it's a City versus Arsenal thing.
You can remember that most of those games had Mane and Salah a topic. They had Mahrez and Stergen. But you don't have their best player right now.
Even last season when Arsenal had
their best player,
they went to the Etihad. They were so pragmatic. They were so
careful more now. Tilt to that aspect, because I don't think they will be so open and
no. That's not even possible.
Even with Bernard not likely to play the game, but he was injured in the last.
Yeah.
Even at that, I feel City has still edge
over them, of course. But one thing I'll keep saying is, do not expect the same thing City did with Arsenal last season. This season, they already know what you want to do. So
sure for you.
That's a very
probably a 2-1, 1-0 type of.
So your score prediction is 2-1.
Probably a 2-1 is because I feel Arsenal will still.
But I just feel City.
City will be too much.
You're so very confident City will win the game.
I'm at that level because I'm at that level.
Etihad, but what other thing?
And at the same time, expect a different Erling Haaland.
They have Jorginho, I think. Yeah, they have Jorginho. They have Postpate, right?
Okay, let's say it starts Rice. Rodri is already back. So, like, Rodri is good.
That's a lot of headache for us. That's a lot of headache. But that's there for Arteta.
If I'm playing Rice will probably be the one.
Doing the box, yeah.
And Partey doesn't have the legs. Manova, Bernardo Silva,
Gundogan.
And that even reminds me, Gundogan is back.
Back. So a box threat that will always get those goals scoring.
It's just, I would love to see it happen for Arsenal. But it will be.
Let's do a quick combined 11 of I'll start with H2. I want to do a quick combined 11. You look at Ederson versus Raya. Who are you picking?
At this point, I'll just go with Raya. I'll go with Raya.
Ben White and Walker.
I'll go with Walker.
Saliba,
definitely.
Yeah. Gabriel and Ruben
Diaz. I'll go with Ruben Diaz.
Timber and
Guardiola. Guardiola is
Thomas Partey and Rodri.
definitely not an option. Rodri, of course.
Okay. Declan Rice and Kovacic.
Wow, so that's where I have an headache, but then again, I'll still go with Declan.
Okay. Kai Havertz and KDB.
That's something that's never comparing. Like
Saka and Savio.
Wow, I'll go with Saka. Regardless, I'll go with Saka.
Okay, Jack Grealish and Martinelli.
Those two are not even some. I don't like them. Like they don't give me that. I'll still go with the Grealish. The Grealish is still more.
Gabriel Jesus and Haaland.
Definitely, the robots take the vibe.
Okay, let me go to Udimeji. Ederson and Raya.
Raya. I pick Raya.
Ben White and Walker.
Walker in the.
Okay, Saliba and Akonji.
Saliba.
Okay, Gabriel and Ruben Diaz.
This decent form. I think I'll go with Saliba. It's Gabriel. Yes, Gabriel.
Timber and Goscovadio.
Timber. Due to the output and what I feel, Gavdo is basically a central back. I've never seen him as a left full back. So in that position, I prefer to pick a Timber.
Okay. Thomas Partey and Rodri.
Rodri any day.
Ballon d'Or Rodri.
He's Rodri any day.
Declan Rice and Kovacic.
That's a nice.
If to pair Rodri, I'll pick what?
Of course,
if we are picking Rodri, it's like I'll pick a Kovacic. But reason why I see Rice more as a Rodri.
Of course,
I see Rice as a more not a playing beside an ODB. I see him more as,
of course,
Kovacic. Okay. Kai Havertz and Kevin De Bruyne. KDB or KDB. Any day, anytime. Jack Grealish and Martinelli.
Jack Grealish. Even any other person against Martinelli. This can never be Martinelli.
Saka and Saka. Jesus and Haaland.
Saka.
We don't decide that. We don't need to decide that. Let them, the people at home, to decide.
You're watching this and you like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notification icon, share this video with your friends, drop your comments, like this video as well.